Raina Campbell, your Chief Dream Driver, and welcome to the No Parking Podcast, where through conversations and discussions with creators like yourself, we'll find interesting approaches to help you take your dreams out of park, put them in drive, and ride towards success. Hey, welcome to episode 9 of the Dreams and Drive No Parking podcast, and I'm so excited today to have you guys listening in for our interview with Tyrese Trevor, who's a New Jersey rapper, and he is going to be talking to us all about why you have to trust your dopeness. One of the reasons why I wanted to have Tyrese on Dreams and Drive is because I was just a huge admirer of his work on Instagram. That's actually how I found out about him. One of my friends on Instagram was in one of his music videos, Mahasa, and I just loved the song, kind of went on his SoundCloud, listened to his music, did some research, and thought he'd be a great person to speak to our audience about what it takes to really put your dreams in drive, because from what I could see on social media, he's someone who really was just all in into making his music dreams come true. So I really hope that you get from him today just why it's so important that you make sure that you are putting your all into your passion and not leaving any room for doubt. The episode today is raw, it's real, there's some cursing in it, but if you guys are comfortable with that, that's okay. And I will say at some points in the interview, it's a little spotty when it comes to audio. I don't know what was going on with my mic, so please forgive me on that. But this is also a testament to knowing that, sometimes your end product isn't perfect, but it doesn't mean that you can't put it out. I wasn't going to waste a whole interview with someone who had such good points because there were some spots on my end were a bit spotty. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate all the support that the podcast has been getting over the past few weeks. Each week we're growing. Each week we're reaching more people. I appreciate that. And as always, please, if you're listening, make sure to subscribe to us on iTunes. All you have to do is go to your podcast app, search No Parking, click subscribe, and then leave a rating. Any feedback is good feedback, and we appreciate it so that we can make each episode better. So I'm going to stop talking so that you guys can listen to Tyrese's great episode today. All right, you guys, Dreams and Drive, let's go. Hey, Tyrese, thank you so much for being part of our Dreams and Drive podcast. I'm excited to talk to you today.
Thank you.
So as you know, our Dreams and Drive podcast is geared towards lifestyle and creatives, people who want to, eventually one day become entrepreneurs. And we want to speak to you all about how you've built your career so far and the whole money well spent movement. But the first question I want to ask you is, and I ask this to all our dream drivers, is what inspired you as a child? If somebody had to say Tyrese was blank, 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 how would they describe you?
How would they describe me or what inspired me? Both.
I'm sorry. Yeah. How would you describe yourself as a child?
As a child, I was definitely fun. I was funny. I was outgoing. I wasn't really shy. What else about me? I think I was just overall just a cool kid. Good energy overall.
And so then, what inspired you as a child? And what were some of the things that you really, really loved to do?
It sounds cliche, but of course, basketball and rap, of course.
Mm-hmm.
With rap, it was kind of different because I feel like I got into that because of my mom. My first time performing, I was probably like 7 years old. I was young. I was performing at fashion shows because my mom used to throw fashion shows or whatever. So I used to perform at those. And at that time, she had written a rap when she was a teenager and still knew it. So she gave it to me, and I was rapping that rap on fashion shows and shit like that. So that's how I kind of got into rapping.
So when you were a child, did you ever think that when you got older, you would be making a brand and a career out of it?
I kind of, yeah, because at that time, nothing is for sure. So you're not I'm definitely gonna be doing this. But looking back, I could see why I am doing that. You know what I mean? I was always into it. You know what I mean? I was into all kinds of music. I think I knew that I was talented pretty young because I was able to adapt to any kind of music, wherever like wherever I happened to be around at that time. Like at one point I was listening to hip hop. I was making hip hop music, you know. Then at one point I started hanging out with my like grandparents a lot, and I was in church a lot. Like I was like writing gospel songs, you know. So then I was like, I figured I could just write. I was just a good writer too. So that was me as a kid too. I was a good writer as a kid in like my English classes and stuff like that.
One of the things that a lot of our people who we have on the show talk about is that this whole inherent feeling that you knew you were talented. And that's not something that a lot of people can say, like, you know, I knew I was talented. So can you describe, like, what does it feel like to know that you have a special gift?
I mean, I realized I was talented. For instance, like when I played basketball, I was talented at basketball. But like if you look at like LeBron James or like Kobe, people like that were like I never would even dare could fathom myself guarding guys like that. You know what I mean? So even though I knew I was good at basketball, how good was I really if I didn't think I could compete with the best? You feel me? So I knew that the music was different because like the LeBron James of like hip hop, like Jay-Z or like Drake or like any of these top guys, I never felt like they were like out of my reach. Like I never felt like they were so far beyond what I could do. So like at that point, that I feel like that's if you genuinely feel like that, that's when you know like it's a gift or you're like above average, you know. But it doesn't really feel any type of way. I feel lucky sometimes because some of the stuff that I come up with to myself, I'd be like, that is kind of good, you know, especially compared to like other stuff that out here that's like on my level, you know, like locally, like with the same buzz as me or like in the same position as me. I feel like my music is kind of above that, like in terms of creativity and talent and stuff.
So how would you describe your style of music? What's special about Tyrese Trevor?
I think what's special about me is that like I'm myself. I think that's what's special about me. I'm myself. And I think nowadays everyone tries to be someone else. So when you're actually yourself, it kind of like stands out, you know? But everyone's special, like in their own way. Like if they're themselves, you know, like everybody's different. So everybody got something like special about them.
So one of the things I was reading about on your site and through your on your Instagram and all that other stuff is you really like pay homage to where you grew up in Newark, right?
Yeah.
So why is Newark so special to you?
I think it's special to me because I've just experienced so many things in there like that have shaped me into who I am today, you know, like I just have so many stories, so many memories in Newark. Like Newark has just definitely made me who I am today. Like the things that I've experienced in Newark, like the friends I've met, the schools I've went to, whether it be public or private. Like I went to both. Like Newark overall has just definitely helped me find like who I am as a person.
What's one of your like not even favorite, but what's a memory that really stands out to you that explains how it has made you as a person?
A memory that was pretty crazy for me was it did this is a story.
Okay.
When I was in private school. At the time I was in private school and I was like I was playing for a basketball team, AAU basketball team, and of course the other kids on the team, most of them didn't go to private school. So I went to the bus on them. I was with the team one day, and this kid he came up to me. He was like, "How old is you?" or whatever, and I was like, and in my mind I'm like, "Damn, like that sounds crazy." Like you know what I mean? Like the grammar wasn't correct, so to me it felt like borderline like damn near retarded. Like, you know what I mean? So, and then years passed, and this was when I was in private school. So when I went to public school, like years later, I remember I caught myself saying that to someone. Like I had adapted to like that life. Like I came up to somebody and I was like, "How old is you?" You know what I mean? And it came out and it just rolled off my tongue so easy. Like not at that time, it didn't sound as bad as it did the first time I heard it. You know what I mean? Like that's a weird story, but like that moment right there, it just taught me that like, yo, you gotta you just gotta stay yourself and don't like adapt to like it's just real easy to act like the people that are around you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like before you know it, like you could change and not realize. You know what I mean? So that story, that instance in my life was pretty crazy for me, like a learning experience. Even though other people might not think the story is crazy, but that was a crazy story to me. And
Now, I could definitely relate to you because I grew up in Orange, and then I went to public school here up until 6th grade, and then I was a part of a program called A Better Chance, and they basically like you apply and you get put into like a college prep program at like a really good school. So I went to middle school and high school in Englewood, New Jersey. So I was like in a totally different world than like, I never went to school like with white people or people who were like a different race than me. So I went from being like in an all black environment to then being in a super diverse environment. And you definitely like, it's hard as a young person not to adapt because
yeah,
you don't want to be that person who stands out, or you don't want to be
but
like,
even if you older too, you know what I mean? Like it could happen at any age. It's definitely easier when you're a kid, but I feel like it's just as easy when you're older. Like I've been around, like, say when I was young, I'm sagging my jeans. I've noticed like maybe I've noticed the older guy start sagging his jeans because like me and my friends are doing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm.
and then he'll catch himself like later on and be like and chastise us for sagging our jeans. Like I didn't just see him sag his jeans because we were doing it at one point. You know what I mean? But who he really is someone that doesn't sag his jeans. But like he was an old man. He was like 30, you know, and I was like 18 at the time, and he did that because of me and what my friends were doing. So like, I mean, I feel like you just gotta know who you are. You gotta be strong minded out here because nowadays there's so many opinions getting thrown your way, especially with social media and stuff. You know, like you just gotta know who you are. Like a couple of songs that I put out, like Mahasa, like Mahasa is a song I put out. I put that song out. I put that in a group chat before I put it out, like with my homies, and some of them was like, "Hell no, don't put that shit out. That shit is gay." Like, you know what I mean? And then it'll be 2 weeks later after I put it out, they'll be like, "Yo, that song was dope. That song was dope." You know what I mean? So I feel like you just gotta trust yourself and trust your dopeness and trust. You just gotta trust yourself. You just gotta trust yourself. When it's a good song is when like it gets recognized nationally. So I don't even think. So that's when I'll realize that it's a good song, like, cause that's what I want. But um, I could feel if something is a good song. You know, like I judge. I always look at my work from the standpoint of like a hater. You know what I mean? Like so, I'm like, if I was a hater, what would I say about this? You know? And if I feel like as a hater, I can't really say much without sounding like a complete hater, because some haters be saying stuff and it's the truth. You know what I mean? But if you're hating and there's no truth to it, then you're just hating. You know what I mean? So I try to look at it from that standpoint. And when I can't find out anything factual that's whack about it, then I know that it's a good song. And more than anything, if I like it, then I'm cool with it. Like no matter what anyone else thinks, if I like it, I'm cool with it. But like I knew the song was good because it relates to just so many girls. Like even if you're not really in that situation, I feel like the song is just it speaks to you more than just the lyrics. I feel like the way my voice sounded, and I feel like the whole song, it was just a good song to me too. Like, and it was an honest song that people could relate to.
Yeah, so people listening, you could go to his SoundCloud. What's your SoundCloud, Tyrese?
You could just type in Tyrese Trevor, and it's going it'll pop up Tyrese Trevor, and you could just type in Tyrese Trevor. My SoundCloud will come up.
And listen to the song Mahasa if you want to know what we're talking about. But I also think in that song that you also just invoke so much emotion. A lot of people don't realize that music, a lot of the songs that we love, it like relates to us or it makes our body feel some type of way. And I just feel like when you listen to it, you're like, oh my God, like, oh, I've been in this situation before, or just like the melody, it just speaks to you.
And I think about that too when I'm writing the songs. You know, I want people to feel something. Like, there's been times where I've written lyrics. You know what I mean? It's like it's like about like a gun or something. Like I'm like I could be like, yo, shot him. Like I could think of stuff like that, but I just end up erasing it right off my notepad because I'm like, There's nothing special about this. You know what I mean? Like when I show people my work, I want to feel confident about it and vouch for it. You know what I mean? Like no matter who I'm in front of, like even if a person doesn't relate to it, they could still feel where I'm coming from, even if they don't see where I'm coming from. You know what I mean? They could still feel where I'm coming from. So
So for the rookie artists out there, people who want to start writing songs, making music, what suggestions would you give to them, when it comes to the whole song making process?
I mean, I look at myself as a rookie, but the songwriting process, I would tell them to be honest. You know what I mean? Be yourself and don't be afraid to like be vulnerable on the track. You know, like it's some people that talk that they'll leave out of a house. There's rats and roaches in the house. You know, it's no bread, milk molded, mom crying. They leave out the house, they go in the studio and they talk about Benzes and Ferraris and wonder why nobody is like connecting with it. You know what I mean? Because you don't even connect with it. You know what I mean? So I feel like you should really rap about your surroundings and what you're going through, because then that way the people that relate to you will like gravitate towards you. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the advice that I could give somebody, to be themselves.
So let's talk about your whole music career. So I got this intel, and for you guys listening in, I know Tyrese and I have a mutual friend, Coretta, and Coretta told me specifically to ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
She said, how did you transition from playing ball to doing music? Because I think she was telling me that you were like really big at playing basketball, but then you kind of switched. So can you talk to us about how you made that switch?
I mean, I think honestly, like when it's all said and done, I'll really be able to tell if it was God's like calling or not. But like I really feel like God just put me in positions where I had no choice but to do music. You know what I mean? Like right after high school, I tore my ACL. You know what I mean? Like basketball would take me away from music a lot. Like I was rapping in 7th grade, I would be balling. So then, like, I would never rap again because I was playing basketball. You know what I mean? Then I got to high school. I was good at rapping, but I just balled because that's what I was doing, and everybody else was doing that too. You know, and then right after that, I tore my ACL, and I had to sit down for a few months, obviously, because I had surgery, and then I started. When you're just forced to sit down, like you just write. You know what I mean? I was right. Like a lot of my stuff, I don't even write it to a beat. Like a lot of my first stuff, there was no beats to that. A lot of those songs were like poems, and then once it gets on a beat, like it's like it gets brought to life. Of course, I would have to choose the correct beat, but like yeah, like I feel like it was God's calling, because I kept getting hurt. Like still, like I couldn't play basketball. You know, like I got hurt after high school, couldn't ball, so I was writing, and then I went to school. I was playing for the basketball team and hurt my leg again. And then that's when I started really writing heavy. And at that point, I was like, I definitely got better than the stuff that I used to be writing when I was like 12, 13. I'm like, I should definitely take this seriously, like, because I feel like this is like a God-given talent that I have. So I want to like maximize it.
So what was the first thing you did when you took your music ability seriously? Did you like make an album? Did you?
I mean, I made a song. I probably made a song. Yeah, I made a song. Yeah, I made a song and just recorded it, sent it to the homies, and that was it. Like that's all you could do at first. You don't really know what else to do. You know what I mean? You just like I gotta start with at least recording something. So I recorded it, sent it to my friends. Nobody said it was whack. You know, like my first no. Actually, my first song was like it was a real song about the community, like Make Me or Break Me. So like I sent that to my boy, and he was like in front of a room full of college kids, like drinking, smoking, you know what I mean? And the song that I sent them was a positive song about like pulling your pants up and not disrespecting women and stuff. So it was like the total opposite vibe of like the spot that he played it in. Like, and he sent it back. He was like, "Yeah, niggas not feeling it." You know what I mean? And I was like, "Damn, that hurt me." Like, I'm like, "God damn, niggas not feeling it." But like, I was just strong minded again, and I was like, I'm gonna get better, and I just kept getting better. But that song wasn't whack though; it just wasn't the move. But yeah, like I was recording and sending it to my friends, putting it on SoundCloud.
So when did the whole money well spent? Well, is it a group? Is it like a
Like it's
company? What is
I don't
it?
even want to. It's a company. Like it's a record label slash company. Like I don't even want to call us just a record label because I feel like we got so many different like avenues that we're on. But like Money Well Spent came about because like my cousin at the time he was paying for the studio time, and somebody had told him like, yo, you're bugging. Like Tyrese isn't a rapper. Like, why are you paying for the studio time? Like, Tyrese does not rap. You're wasting your money. You feel me? And he didn't tell me at the time. And then we recorded a song, and then afterwards we was in a car after we left the studio, and he was like, "Yo, keeping it real, man. Somebody was telling me. I knew who it was, but he like somebody was telling me like, yo, you bugging. You wasting your time." He like, "Yo, but honestly." I feel like this shit is money well spent. Like I don't feel like I'm wasting my money. Like you know what I mean. And it was at the time that we was trying to figure out a name for ourselves. And I was like, yo, that's what we should call ourselves, like money well spent. And then of course you gotta see if the letters work, sound cool. So like MWS, we like, all right, there it go. Like even stuff like that, like people would think stuff you gotta go so into depth about or think so deep into like to come up with this or to figure this out. Like everything that happens naturally. That's why I really feel like it's like kind of like a God's calling thing. Like this isn't something that I like reached for. Like it just happens and like comes naturally.
No, I feel you on that one because even with this whole podcast name, like I have been wanting to podcast for a while, and literally, you know, the Checkers in Newark by like Central Avenue.
Yeah.
So I had went there one day with my boyfriend, and like we had came out the drive-through, and I saw this little sign that said no parking. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Oh, take my picture and put this on Instagram." So I
Yeah.
took a picture with like a no parking sign, and I had asked I put it on Facebook, and I was like, "Yo, what should I name my podcast?" And my cousin was like, "No parking," and I was like, "Oh, that makes so much sense."
Yeah. That name sticks out too. Like I like that name.
Yeah, and then like when I was trying to think of like, all right, so what should the whole like movement be? I had bought a mic and I was on the garage band trying to play around with it. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, this is Raina Campbell. I'm gonna put your dreams in drive. And then my friend was like, oh yeah, you should call like it dreams in drive. So it's just funny how things like you said, it just the
Yeah.
stuff that's organic, it just happens.
Yeah. Exactly.
So with money well spent, like what are you guys planning to do with that? What kind of successes have you guys had since launching?
We've had a good amount of success. Like I feel like I've been doing music for like a little bit less than 2 years now, like a year and 8 months or 9 months, and I feel like I'm like up there with like the guys that have been doing music in New Jersey for like 5, 7 plus years. Like, you know what I mean? Most of these guys that are reaching like are starting to get noticed. Like a lot of these guys was rapping when I wasn't thinking about rapping. So I feel like
Mm-hmm.
we've reached a lot of success. Like, you know what I mean? Like in terms of our SoundCloud views, the YouTube views, and just really just the what do you call it? The feedback is crazy. Like I know a lot of people don't really get good feedback. I see a lot of times when people are like, "Yo, why does anybody post my stuff?" or people are hating or like, "Why this?" or "Why?" Like I never really deal with any of that because everyone that hears it like likes it. You know what I mean? So I so that's cool.
So you said that you've had a lot of good success for only being in the game like 2 years. What is it like being a New Jersey rapper or being a New Jersey artist? Like, is it difficult? Do you think?
I mean, I don't think so. Like, I mean, I don't know what it's like to be an artist anywhere else, but in New Jersey, I feel like it's just like it's like anywhere. Like a lot of it's always competition. Like nothing is easy. So I don't really have any complaints about being a New Jersey artist. Like
Mm-hmm.
the people that hear my music, they really like it. They fuck with it. They like vibe with it. Like I feel like you just gotta come up with creative ideas to just make sure you stand out and then put yourself on that next level and keep hitting the drawing board to see like, all right, what can I do to take this shit to the next level? What can I do to take this shit to the next level? You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit here and say like Jersey's full of haters. Like it's haters everywhere. Like you know what I mean, and sometimes people really aren't hating on you. They just don't like your shit. Like so, I feel like a New Jersey artist is regular. Like to me, like I feel like it's regular. Like any regular artist trying to make it big with big dreams in any other state.
What things have you done to stand out?
Be myself, honestly. I always was strong minded, you know what I mean? I always was like real interested in like the way people act, the way that they act, you know, like I like getting a real explanation about that instead of just saying this person's a bad person or this person's that. Like I like getting those explanations and like figuring out why, you know? So I feel like that helps me stand out, just being myself and trusting that like who I am when nobody's looking is a cool person that other people would like to know. So
So, what have been some struggles that you faced? Because I know the whole road can't be, 100% pretty, but what have been some real challenges you faced, and how did you overcome those, or how are you overcoming those?
what's the challenge? Only challenge is like getting on a platform to be heard. Like that's the only challenge. You know what I mean? Getting on a platform to be heard, maybe. You know, because I feel like that's the really one of the only things that's missing. Like me being on a different platform. You know what I mean? Like I haven't been on the radio yet by choice. Like I feel like when I attack that, I'll be able to get that, but I haven't done that yet. So like I don't even want to say that's a struggle. Like, yeah, I need a different platform, but I haven't attacked that yet. Like, I have my own plan and pace on the pace that I'm going. So I don't really know any struggles like that I could really say. You know, like the only struggles that I could think of for another artist would be like nobody supports me. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't really have that problem. So like as like every day I'm always better than what I was yesterday. So as long as that's happening, I feel like I'm pretty cool. Like, you know what I mean? I enjoy the journey that I'm on. So like, it's not like I'm like, oh my God, I'm not a millionaire yet. Like I'm struggling. Like it's not like that. So I really enjoy making music. I don't think I have any struggles. The only struggles that maybe like dealing with a lot of people's personalities because I'm not used to that. Like I don't really like doing that. Like I like just chilling with my friends and stuff like that. But when you rap, everyone else raps, and then you start meeting other people that rap, and a lot of people that rap don't really act like me. You know, like they're not like the typical. Like I'm not like the typical. I don't have the personality of like the typical rapper. So that's a little difficult. But other than that, everything's cool. Besides people like doing like retarded stuff. Other than that, it's cool.
What do you mean? What kind of retarded stuff do you think people like? What does that mean?
They're better than what they are, like people aren't like grounded or like realistic in certain situations, egos and stuff like that. Like I have an ego in terms of like what I believe in, but I don't have a ego towards other people. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that I'm better than anyone. So like just dealing with egos. Like for instance, I had one dude. I invited him to perform at my show. You know what I mean? And he was like, because I felt that he had a good song, and I felt that like, yo, this would be a good opportunity to like get him more exposure and to make my show more popping. You know what I mean? We could help each other out. And he told me like he doesn't do free shows, and I'm like, what the hell? Like that's like it's a lot of people out here that are like on level one, like talking about wanting to get paid for stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you gotta earn that. Like people are really delusional with like the stuff that they think they've accomplished. Like, you know what I mean? Like with the music, there's no like kind of popping. It's either you really popping or you just not popping at all. You know what I mean? So you just like everybody else. So me, I feel like I'm just like everyone else. Even if I feel like my music may relate to more people, I feel like in what I've accomplished, I'm just like everybody else at this point, you know? So dealing with people's egos, people saying thinking they need to get paid for a show. Like you don't get paid for shows at all in general. So why would I pay you for a show? Like, you know what I mean? Just people's egos and unrealistic shit that they say. That's the only thing that's really a struggle. But I've like really chilled out with like dealing with a lot of people, so I don't even really deal with that anymore. I just be focused on like bringing money well spent to like another platform and another level.
So do you have a team that deals with that stuff then now?
Yeah, I do. Like I got my best friend Kenny. Like he handles like a lot of the business stuff, a lot of the online stuff, a lot of the promotion. He handles a lot of shit. Like, and then I got my cousin Chris. He handles like he's just a mental. He just guides, make sure I'm on the right track mentally, like making sure I'm not slacking off, making sure I'm humble, making sure like nigga we this is we're all regular people with a dream, like, and nobody's more important than anyone. So I just use that, and then I got my other friends too that just help out with a lot of stuff. But in terms of like team and building, it's just me, Kenny, and my cousin Chris, and I got a lot of good relationships with other people though too, with that help me out too.
Are you a businessman or are you a musician?
I'm more of a musician. I'm more of a musician. I don't really people have a hard time seeing you as a businessman when you're a musician. So I don't really try to market myself as a businessman. But like, am I business minded? 100%, yes. But like, do I like broadcast that? Like, no, because I know that that's not the image that people are ready to see me at yet. You know what I mean? Like, I would just want people to hear the music. I just want people to hear the music. But like, I still make some ignorant songs sometimes. You know, you can't be doing business deals making ignorant songs. Like Jay Z can't be who he is making a certain kind of song right now. He gotta make the songs that like relate to his life. You know what I mean? And I feel like young artists don't get looked at as like businessmen. People aren't used to seeing that. So I wanna show my business side like a little later, like when I've achieved like a little bit more success.
Do you think that there's still some type of money to be made in the music industry so that you're not a struggling artist forever? You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like you gotta you gotta just be aware. Things are, a lot of people get scared when things change, but like things have been changing forever. Like, you know what I mean? People like, oh my God, CDs aren't being sold. Like, it was one point, like they were like, oh my God, cassettes aren't being sold. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the world is gonna keep evolving. I think you just gotta you just gotta adapt to it. And no matter what you do, as long as the music is good, nothing else matters. When people get those lucky breaks for like hit songs and stuff like that, like it'll be one song only. Like those guys, it's hard there, but like I really feel like if you have good music, you'll always be able to make money. You know what I mean? So like if I was making a certain kind of records, I wouldn't take it as serious. Like if I was writing all just negative records all the time, but like just talking bad about shit, like killing and robbing, like I definitely feel like okay, you can't make money. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, I come in with this term, it's called hoe music, right? Like a lot of people make hoe music, like yeah, you would like have sex with a hoe and stuff like that, but like you're not gonna take her out to eat. You know what I mean? Because that's too much. So I feel like people make hoe music in terms of like, yeah, your friends will bump it in front of you or bump it like for a quick second, or people that don't know you, they might bump it for a quick second, which is equivalent to like having sex with a hoe, but they not going to take the hoe out. You know what I mean? In retrospect, like they're not going to buy your music. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of people make music that may feed the wrong thing. I feel like when you feed the soul, like people are going to buy it. Like, you know what I mean? People are always like, yo, this isn't selling. That's like if the whole class is failing and only two people got A's and people aren't passing. No, like those are just the two people that studied the hardest. You know what I mean? Drake selling, Adele just sold, Beyonce, she's gonna sell, Rihanna did good. Of course it's about streaming now, but like I feel like I don't know a person that's just really good and I just really listen to their music all the time and they're just not successful. You know what I mean? The people that I listen to are pretty successful. Like so, which is lucky for me. I might relate to people that are successful, like, you know. So
one of the things I wanted to ask you is how did you grow your audience base? So you know how you said like you've had a lot of success over these past 2 years. What were some of like the actual tactical things that you did to get your music out there and to have people hearing you?
really, just social media, and that's why I feel like that's why I'm so like surprised that I don't have that many followers. Like I probably got like 2,000 followers, but like out of those 2,000 followers, a lot of those people like listen to my music. Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like hold on, what was the question again? I'm so lost. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I was just saying, like,
I
what
have
was?
like a short attention span. Like seriously.
I was saying, what are some of the things that you did to build your
Oh,
like to build your audience platform?
the stuff is just a lot of stuff happened naturally. Like the money well spent logo. I think that plays a big part in like the attention that I get sometimes. You know, like I put myself on SoundCloud. A girl from Toronto heard it and made that logo. Like, you know what I mean? She lives in Toronto. I've never even seen this girl in person. The girl that made the logo. She heard the records and was hitting me up on Twitter and just wanted to be a part of it. Like, so like I feel like I haven't reached the level to where I can even answer that question. I feel like I'm about to be at that point. Like when I got my stuff on the radio and in different outlets. Like now I'm talking to more important people. Like so I feel like I'm about to reach that level to be able to answer that question. Right now, I put stuff on SoundCloud, and I think the music is just good enough to the point where people like gravitate towards it. You know what I mean? And I feel like when the world starts supporting it, then more people are gonna start supporting it. Like so, just getting it out there, and I was showing people. You know, I was showing people, and when it's good, people talk about it. Like my friends, they show people the music. They're like, "Yo, listen to this guy." You know what I mean? It's people from the suburbs or the hood. They like, "Yo, listen to this guy." You know what I mean? That's not me telling them to listen. That's other people. I think when the music is good, it's gonna spread naturally, and you just got to keep putting out music. Like if I never put out music anymore, like the sound is eventually just gonna die, and I'll be like another guy that like just had potential, you know. But if I keep putting out music and creating steam and coming up with new ideas to separate myself and meet certain people, it's just gonna happen naturally, you know.
And I like that y'all have like the money well spent merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I think that helps too, right? Cause I know I was on your Instagram, like you had posted something saying that somebody like somewhere far had bought something and you was surprised by that, right?
Yeah, like that stuff is crazy. It all plays a part. Like without the clothes, like the music isn't as interesting. Like Tyrese Trevor isn't as interesting, you know. And without the music, the clothes aren't as interesting, you know. Like without the music, the logo isn't as interesting. Without the logo, everything plays a part in everything. So it's just it's just cool. The clothes are cool. They sell pretty good, and yeah, I definitely was surprised that somebody supported from that far, you know, because like I started it last year, and when I was coming up to people like, yo, I could rap, and people was like I don't give a fuck, really. Of course they didn't say that, but really they're like I don't give a fuck, like you know, like you ask people for help, they're like I don't give a fuck, like that's everybody's I don't give a fuck, but of course everybody has that like we're all Jersey mentality, like they bullshit on, but that's not true. But like Jersey, like I don't get how people like somebody's music because they're from Jersey. Like I don't get what Jersey has to do with anything that you recorded, like when you were in the studio. You know what I mean? I don't really like that. I don't think it should be Jersey support Jersey. I think it should be like Jersey support talent. You know what I mean? Or talent support talent. Like I see a lot of people that music is trash because they might be a nice person. I don't even know what it is. People be faking it so much. Like, yo, let's support. Like, no, I don't want to support it if it's not good, even if you're my neighbor. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean. Sometimes you got to be honest with people too, because then that's like not giving the person who actually has real talent a chance by clouding it with a whole bunch of people who don't really want it or aren't doing it for the right reasons, you know?
Where it's not even about that because I don't hate anybody. It's because I feel like if you're talented, you're gonna get on and be discovered regardless. But just in general, like I don't get it. Like if someone's music is trash, like why do we? Why is it like are we gonna support it? Because it's like that's not real life at all. Like you know what I mean? Like everybody on the basketball team doesn't get the same amount of playing time. That's just a fact. You know, the best player is gonna play. So like, I don't really get a lot of people do like the. I don't know. It's kind of weird out here. It's kind of weird. But I just stick to myself. I just keep it cool, and I definitely reach out to other people that I think are good. Like there's been a few people that I've reached out to. I'm like, yo, you got a unique sound. Like I like that, and it's not because they're from Jersey though. It's because they're from Jersey, and I like the music. You know. like for instance, I got lucky in a lot of situations. So like it's like no matter what you do, you can have as many dreams as you want. Like you need money. Like you know what I mean? Like if you don't have money, how are you gonna record unless you just got all the equipment? But like to get that equipment, you need money. You know what I mean? So you just gotta stay focused. Like I got lucky that my cousin just wanted to do it with me. You know what I mean? When we first started, at least, and like I got lucky. Like if I didn't have my cousin, like to like pay for the studio time when we first started, it wouldn't be no songs. Like I been knew that I could rap. I just didn't have any money at first, and I didn't. I wanted to spend my money on something else. So like you gotta just stay focused. If you don't have those people that look out for you, and like spend less time with girls, you know, and focus on what you want to do. Because I always say, like, if you want something bad enough, you're going to get it. And if you don't get it, then you just did not want it bad enough. Like, that's a quote that I live by. So, like, anything I want, like, I know it's possible for me to get it. And if I don't get it, I'll know in my heart that, like, yo, it was something else that I could have did and I didn't do it. Like, whether I slept too long this night, slept too late this morning, or didn't go to the studio this night, hung out with a girl instead, you know, like you know what kind of hours and dedication that you're putting in to your craft. So like I would say that be serious about it so other people around you respect it, and like, and again, stay yourself.
And is there anything that you would do differently looking back at these last 2 years?
No, I wouldn't do anything differently. Like anything that I messed up on, I really learned from all of those situations. And I'm not saying that I remember whatever I messed up on, but like, yeah, I wouldn't I don't regret anything. I don't regret anything.
And when you feel like giving up, like what's that thing that keeps you going? What motivates you?
Yo, I never was a panic kind of guy, I'm not saying that that's a good thing. You know, like the test could be tomorrow. I'll be like, I feel like it's okay. It's still time. You know what I mean? So I haven't reached that point where I'm like, I'm not gonna make it. Like I feel like I feel confident. Like I feel like I feel like I'm just a part of a journey, and that I'm gonna win it at the end. You know, so I never really had that point where I'm like, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna give up. Like I never really had that point yet to keep me going.
So do you think it's true that you really gotta have like that confidence and that drive, or you really ain't gonna go nowhere?
Yeah, you gotta have that confidence and that drive, and you gotta and you. I think it's more about fear, about being fearless. Like you know what I mean. I'm never scared. Like in situations that I should be scared of. Like I'm never scared. So like you know, like I've gotten into trouble in Newark. Like because I wasn't scared. You know what I mean? So and I'm not saying that's a good thing because you could get in trouble. Like you could not be safe out here by making crazy decisions. But yeah, I definitely feel like you gotta have a fearlessness about you to be something. Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Well, kudos to you because a lot of people don't have that. And a lot of people that's that thing that holds them back is
Uh
they
huh.
are fearful and they allow fear to overtake them a lot.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think I had a I had a part though where like I never was I had to get that. That wasn't me all my life. You could have confidence and you could lose confidence too. Like
Mm-hmm.
growing up, I was real confident. Like you know what I mean. I never lacked confidence at all. You know, and then like I remember one time I got into like my first girlfriend. She was a good girl. I never dealt with like no insecurity issues. Like I was always confident. Like you know what I mean. And then I dealt with a girl that was like I wouldn't even say anything bad about her. Like everybody's just young, you know what I mean? But she did some foul stuff, like she cheated. Of course I cheated too. We all young, but like she cheated, but it fucked me up because I never even knew girls could cheat. Like that's how like oblivious I was and how like naively confident I was. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like girls are just in their room studying, like, you know what I mean? They're not out here doing no crazy shit. So like that tore me down a lot. Like I was in a crazy state after that. So I feel like the person that I've become after that is even more confident. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like sometimes you get broken down to come up stronger. So I'm not even gonna say like, yeah, you gotta be confident. Because sometimes you lose your confidence. That's natural. But like, do I think I'll lose it now? No.
I feel you. And plus, you know, you learn from everything, as you were saying. Like, sometimes you got to go through stuff in order to experience it. Because now you will know that girls can cheat, right?
Word,
Or
what? Definitely, they definitely can cheat out here. If you didn't know.
So what's next for you? Like, what's like your ultimate dream? Where do you want to see yourself going in the next few years?
Next few years, I honestly see myself being like a difference maker. I think I'm somebody special. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like every once in a while it's like a Michael Jackson, a Kanye West, like a Drake, a Jay-Z. I feel like I'm that guy. Like I feel like anything less than that isn't cool for me. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to be. Oh, that's my alarm. But yeah, like I feel like anything less than that is not cool. Like I see myself being an influence to a lot of kids in my community, a lot of kids across the country. I just feel myself being a huge influence on a lot of people's lives and me reaching them through music.
That's good. That's good. And you know, what are you like the most proud about, like your whole journey to date?
Uh I'm the most proud about anybody supporting me. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm the most proud about because, like I said, like a lot of people they see stuff and they think that everything is easy or everything just happen. Like it, like I throw a concert. A lot of people they in their mind they might be like, "Yo, Tyrese so lucky. Everyone believes in Ty. Like he had a concert. People just came. Like, you know what I mean? There was people close to me telling me like, Tyrese, do not put your money into the concert because nobody's really gonna come. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta really be hard headed and believe in yourself to be like, no, I'm gonna do this shit anyway. Like I've been turning haters into believers since I've started it. So like the people that support me, like you, for instance, you don't know me, but you like my music. Like you might think that like, yo, this kid is like really it's an easy like process kind of, but or like you might hear a song like Mahas and be like, wow, that's so amazing, but and not realize that it is somebody next to me saying like, yo, that song's not a good look for you. Like, you know what I mean? So the most thing I'm proud of, I don't even know what I'm proud of, honestly. I feel like I'm nowhere near the things that I'm gonna accomplish. Like, so I can't even say that I'm proud of anything that I've done yet. Like, cause I want like so much more.
All right, Tyrese. So now we're heading into our lightning round in our Dreams and Drive interview. And in this section, you're going to tell me the first word that comes to mind when you hear the following words, okay?
Okay.
All right. Park.
Park. When I hear the word park, I think that stuff around me is moving too fast, so I need to park, stop, and like evaluate everything that's going on around me.
Reverse.
Reverse. Sometimes you do things when you're not thinking. So I feel like I should never be afraid to go back to make something right, like apologize for something wrong that I did, you know, because passion could be mistaken as like disrespect sometimes. So reverse is a time where I want to go back and fix something, but other than that, I really don't want to. Friggin' alarm. But reverse is something that I definitely don't like doing though. That's not good to reverse though.
Neutral.
Neutral. I do not like neutral, man. I don't like neutral. I feel like I don't even like in the middle of anything. I feel like people need to know exactly what's going on. I feel like neutral is like I don't know. I don't like neutral. Like so, neutral is never. I don't even have that gear.
Drive.
Drive, of course, is just that drive to keep going. Drive is that confidence where like people are telling you that you shouldn't do something. You gotta have that drive to do it. Like no matter what speed bumps are ahead, you just gotta have that drive to keep going. I want to be one of the greatest like musicians to ever come out of New Jersey, like of all time.
Did you guys hear that? Tyrese said that he wants to be one of the greatest musicians to come out of New Jersey of all time. I love that he ended the interview like that because it's just so dope. It's like, wow, you really believe in yourself and you really, really have this goal, and that's what you're working towards. So I invite everybody listening right now to think to yourself, what's that ultimate goal that you have for yourself? And what do you do? What do you have to do to get there? Get a piece of paper and write it down. Take that piece of paper everywhere you go. So when you feel like you are giving up or when you feel like you don't have any motivation, you can go back and look at that goal of yours. And it's something that if you do it, and if you don't yet believe it, I should say, after a while you're going to start believing it because it's going to become part of you. It's going to become something that's ingrained in your heart, body, and soul, and it'll be something that you want more than anything. So once again, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. As always, you can get show notes at dreamsanddrive.com. Make sure you subscribe to us on iTunes so that you can get each episode delivered weekly to your phone. And I just want to say thank you once again. Put your dreams in drive. If you know of anyone who you think should be on the show, just have them email me at Raina@RainaCampbell.com. That's it. I hope you guys are going to be listening to episode 10 because I will. Bye, you guys.